Hello everyone, it's Lindsey, and today we are diving right into the July Faith Art Box from Creative Retreat Kits, and we're going to just jump right into this process. So I'm going to show you how I use a stamp set to create these paper-pieced mountains, and I will talk about the verse in just a second here, but first I'm just taking that stamp set from the Faith Art Box this month, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on some white cardstock. And then I'm also going to stamp these out on a variety of different pattern papers. I'm using the ones from the Here and There collection from Crate Paper. I've linked down below both physical product and the digital products. I had a hard time finding this paper pad, but you can get it in the digital format and you can just print these patterns out. But here you can see I'm going to go ahead and cut out the different pieces of the mountains, and then I can just paste them onto the white cardstock and create these paper pieced mountains. So I'm going to create this fun little map scene down at the bottom of my Bible page here. I went ahead just for the sake of the video and created a bunch of those mountains off camera. I'm going to have to apologize. I just got back from vacation, and so I am way behind on assignments. I'm exhausted. I changed some things with my camera setup, and so this video is super shaky. So just lots of grace today. It's gonna be a rough one, but I'm gonna go ahead and just brush on some Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink into this bottom right hand corner as kind of a background for my map scene. And I just wanted to kind of play with a whole bunch of stamp sets from Creative Retreat Kits and this Here and There collection and this month's Faith Art Box, and just kind of create a fun image. I didn't want to do a whole lot of journaling for this first entry here today, and so it's just going to be kind of a visual thing we got going on here. You can see I am spraying a little bit of water onto the page, and that's because Distress Oxide inks are meant to react with water, so it adds a little bit of texture. And like I said, I wanted that fun kind of vintagey looking detailed map, I guess, look. And so I'm going to get that with that water and with the elements I'm going to add on here. Now I am working in Matthew 4:19, which is one of the verses from the devotional card. And that says, "And he said to them," that's Jesus, talking to the disciples. He says, "And he said to them, 'Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.'" And so this month we're talking all about going on a grand adventure with God and just letting him lead you and guide you and just jumping onto that adventure and fully trusting him and following him. And so our life adventure is God taking us and taking us through all these different things, refining us, growing us, maturing us so that we can become better disciples for him and evangelists for him as we lead others to Christ. And so I want to show this little journey path that we're doing. And so I've brought out a variety of stamp sets from Creative Retreat Kits. I do have them all linked down below for you guys, and they are currently on sale. So definitely go check that out. I did double check and make sure that all the stamp sets I used in this video are still available. So you can find all of those linked down below. So I'm just adding some little stars, some little clouds using the stamp set from last month, and just kind of adding some fun details. You could also cut these mountains down to where there's just maybe 2 peaks or 1 peak if you wanted a little bit more variety. I'm just keeping it super simple because, like I said, I'm tired and running behind, so I didn't want anything super complicated. So I'm just using a glue stick to stick those down. If you're working in a smaller margin Bible, you could just use a couple of these, or you could create a tip-in, something like that. So you could definitely recreate this page in a variety of journaling Bibles. So I'm taking the little bird stamp from this month's stamp set, and I'm just stamping a few of those using that same Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink. At this point, it's just kind of sitting back and looking and trying to figure out, where I want different details and things like that, just to kind of fill out this idea of a map scene. So I'm taking a pen and we're going to create a little trail like we're on an adventure. So I'm just creating some little dash marks. Usually I go in with a pencil and do this first and then go over with pen. Probably would have given me better results, but we're just winging it. Sometimes not everything has to be perfectly planned out. It's okay to just sit down and just go for it and see, where the page kind of takes you. And that's kind of what I did with this. And just if things get messed up or if things don't go quite right, you just kind of work with it as you go along. The stickers for this month's kit does have these little icons on there, these little circle icons. Like, are they geo markers? Something like that. So I'm using one of those, and then this little flag that says go. And I'm just trimming off the bottom so I can kind of tuck it behind where I already had that mountain down there. And again, I super apologize for the shakiness. I'm working on trying to fix that situation with my camera. I didn't realize it was going to do that till after I'd already filmed, so I will hopefully get that fixed soon. This little adventure die cut piece came from that Here and There collection as well, and so I pulled out a variety of word stamps, and so I can create a little title here, and it's going to say "Follow Christ on Life's Grand Adventure" is what we're going to spell out here. And so I just kind of flipped through that collection to see what I wanted to use, and then went through all the stamp sets that I have from Creative Retreat and just kind of mix and match the letters or the words to create the title. And the nice thing about these is they usually have similar fonts or similar sized words amongst the different stamp sets, so you can mix and match them to create different titles. So don't be afraid to bring in some older stamp sets. And they usually have, like the word on or in or my, some of those simple words that you can use again and again. For the word grand, I didn't have a stamp for that, so I'm just going to use the fun alphas from this month. I am cutting them down just a little bit more so that they'll fit in this area there. But I love the fun kind of whimsical look with those letters, and mixing in the alpha stickers kind of ties in that die cut piece with the word adventure as well. So at this point, it's just going to go back in and add a few more details. So I'm taking a gold marker from Creative Devotion. Again, everything will be linked down below for you guys. And I'm just filling in the little stars. I felt like there was too many, black outlines going on, and it needed just a little bit more detail down here. So I'm just being careful not to go over the stamped lines. These markers are pretty opaque, so you just want to be careful of that. And then I'm going to take the enamel stickers from the kit this month and just add a few of those up here around the title just to bring some color up there. It was looking a little bit bland, and I'm trying to distract from the fact that my stamps were on the block crooked, so they're totally stamped not straight. And I'm trying not to let that bother me and kind of balance it out with these enamel stickers. So you can see I don't always stamp perfect either. Sometimes things just don't work out perfectly, and it is okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just a Bible page, and it's fine. I can totally be okay with it not being perfect. So I'm bringing out some of the highlighter washi tape to highlight the verse. Again, that's Matthew 4:19. Now, I always like to go in and just do kind of a basic entry when I first start these devotionals. And then as I go on through the month, I kind of take more notes, get more in depth, and things like that. So my first look at it is usually just kind of an overall glance at the devotional content. And then as I go on through the month, I kind of dig in deeper and start doing, verse study and commentary study and things like that. I did use my tab punch to punch a tab out of some more of that patterned paper, and that way I could add that to the top of the page here. This month for the kit, we got the enamel stickers instead of the regular bow clips that we get. So you could either punch tabs out of the pattern cardstock in the devotional, or you could use some pattern paper from your stash, or you could even use the stamps and stamp them on some white cardstock to create kind of a custom patterned paper, and then tab punch out of that. And added a few more stickers to the top of that tab, and that is going to be it for the entry today. Super simple, guys. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Check out the description box for links to everything that I mentioned in the video today. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.